From the mists of the mountains a deafening call bellows down over the plains. On a host of battle-worn ears it does fall, pushing out through the thunder and rain. These men of the north, they have suffered too long. The anger, it swells in their veins. Of the spirited roars of lost warriors, songs, distant echoes are all that remain. And my voice is my violence, clear the skies, frozen tears, and no more will be silent with this avant-garde song in our ears. And we stand tall, sons of the snow, we will not fall under these blows, for our hearts they are hardy, our spirits are strong, and our voices are lifted into this avant-garde song.
Hey there everyone, it's Val and welcome back to Skyrim Zahjira's Travels. Just checking that everything is what it's supposed to be. Looks good. Right, well let's read these books without picking them up. The Effects of the Elder Scrolls. It is widely known among scholars that the Elder Scrolls entail a certain hazard in their very reading. The mechanism of the effects has, at present, been largely unknown. Theories of the hidden knowledge and divine retribution were the subject of idle speculation with little investigation. I, Justinius Polonius, have undertaken to thoroughly document the ailments afflicted by the Elder Scrolls on their readers, though a unified theory of how they manifest continues to elude me and remains a subject for future study. I have grouped the effects into 4, finding that the avenue of experience depends largely upon the mind of the reader. If this is unclear, I hope that a proper dichotomy will lay it plain. Group the first. The Naifs. For one who has received no training in the history or nature of the Elder Scrolls, the scroll itself is, effectively, inert. No prophecy can be scryed nor knowledge obtained. While the scroll will not impart learning to the uninformed, nor will it afflict them in any adverse fashion. Visually, the scroll will appear to be awash in odd lettering and symbols. Those who know their astronomy often claim to recognize constellations in the patterns and connections, but such conjecture is impossible to further investigate, since the very nature of this study necessitates unlearned subjects. Group the second, the unguarded intellects. It is this second group that realizes the greatest danger from attempting to read the scrolls. These are the subjects who have an understanding of the nature of the Elder Scrolls and possess sufficient knowledge to actually read what is inscribed there. They have not, however, developed adequate discipline to stave off the mind-shattering effect of having a glimpse of infinity. These unfortunate souls are struck immediately, irrevocably, and completely blind. Such is the price for overreaching one's faculties. It bears mentioning, though, that those with the blindness also comes a fragment of that hidden knowledge. That with the blindness also comes a fragment of that hidden knowledge. Whether the future, the past, or the deep natures of being is dependent on the individual and their place in the greater spheres. But the knowledge does come. Group the third, mediated understanding. Alone in Tamriel, it would appear that only the cult of the ancestor moth has discovered the discipline to properly guard one's mind when reading the scrolls. Their novitiates must undergo the most rigorous mental cultivation, and they often spend a decade or more at the monastery before being allowed to read their first Elder Scroll. The monks say this is for the initiate's own protection, as they must have witnessed many unguarded intellects among their more eager ranks. With appropriate fortitude, these readers also receive blindness, though at a far lesser magnitude than the unguarded. Their vision fogs slightly, but they retain shape, color, and enough acuity to continue to read mundane texts. The knowledge they gain from the scroll is also tempered somewhat. It requires stages of meditation and reflection to fully appreciate and express what one saw. Group the fourth, Illuminated Understanding. Between the previous group and this one exists a continuum that has, at present, only been traversed by the monks of the ancestor moth. With continued readings, the monks become gradually more and more blind, but receive greater and more detailed knowledge. As they spend their waking hours pondering the revelations, they also receive a further degree of mental fortitude. There is, for every monk, a day of penultimate reading, when the only knowledge the Elder Scroll imparts is that the monk's next reading shall be his last. For each monk, the penultimate reading comes at a different and unknowable time. Preliminary work has been done to predict the occurrence by charting the severity of an individual monk's blindness, but all who reach these later stages report that the increasing blindness seems to taper with increased readings. Some pose the notion that some other unseen sense is in fact continuing to diminish at this upper range, but I shall leave such postulations to the philosophers. To prepare for his ultimate reading, a monk typically withdraws to seclusion in order to reflect upon a lifetime. To prepare for his ultimate reading, a monk typically withdraws to seclusion in order to reflect upon a lifetime of revelations and appoint his mind for reception of his last. Upon this final reading, he is forever blinded, as sure as those unguarded ones who race to knowledge. The illuminated one, though, has retained his understanding over a lifetime and typically possesses a more integral notion of what has been revealed to him. It is hoped that this catalogue will prove useful to those who wish to further our mortal understanding of the Elder Scrolls. The moth priests remain aloof about these matters, taking the gradual debilitation that comes with reading as a point of pride. May this serve as a useful starting point for those hoping to take up such study. Dedicated to Anastasius Mechim, 4th of Last Seed, in the 126 era of the Second Era. Oh, yeah, anyway. Okay. So there is a way to make it so you don't go totally blind, because she doesn't think she has 10 years, however. And hello to Jose Sands on YouTube. Welcome to the stream. Just so you know, this is a serious roleplay series, which means I am in character unless I come to a screen like this in which I talk to you like I am now. If you would like to roleplay, you're certainly welcome to do so. I do, however, have some guidelines. And if you do not want to roleplay, then please put OOC in front of your comments so that it makes it a little easier for me when I'm roleplaying as Zahjira to kind of skip over those comments until I come to a screen like this, at which point I come back and read them and comment on them at that point. So if you do want to roleplay, let me know and I'll read you the information about... The short version is... Zahjira is my character, and you are her spirit advisors. You are not here to lead her around by the nose, as she put it in another episode, but you are there if she asks for help to provide her with help. You do not have any special knowledge or special secrets or anything like that, and I have more information that like I said, at the guidelines I can spell that out a bit more clearly. But basically... you're here to roleplay as well, but within guidelines so that you don't get tempted to give her spoilers or even accidentally do that. I have played Skyrim. I've played it many times. I know the whole storyline. Zahjira does not, because she's living her life for the first time here, obviously. Now, what version am I playing? I am playing 1.8. This is a very old version of Skyrim, and the reason that I am playing this old version is... I started this roleplay series when I first started on YouTube, and that was 4.5 years ago. And I ended up because of various life reasons, ended up suspending the series when I moved into doing live streaming. And now that I'm more comfortable with doing serious roleplay in a live stream, I am now resuming her series. But because this series is so old, I have to use the version that is compatible with save files that I have. Because, well, obviously changing to the latest and greatest would mean I'd have to replay, several hundred hours to get her back to this point, and that is basically impossible to do. And I'm also playing on a PC, in case that was part of your question. Anyway, hopefully that answers all your questions. Like I said, if you do want to roleplay, let me know, and I will quickly read out the guidelines for you. I have yet to do a video that has the Skyrim specific guidelines, but my general roleplay guidelines are in a what is SRP video, and I'll just quickly throw that information into chat. That should have the link for you. Yes, it does. And that is for Fallout 4, but like 90% of what's in there still applies. The only part that's different is the guidelines for Skyrim as opposed to Fallout 4. Right. Well, let's get back to the thing, and I just went right past it, didn't I? Oh, right. Let's do that. There we go. Alrighty. Ruminations on the Elder Scrolls. By Septimus Cygnus, College of Winterhold. Imagine living beneath the waves and a strong-sided blessing of most excellent fabric. Holding the fabric over your gills, you would begin to breathe, drink its warp and weft. Through the plant matter fibers imbue your soul, the wretched plankton would pollute the cloth until it stank to heavens of prophecy. Okay, somebody who was insane wrote this. This is one matter in which the scrolls first came to pass, but are we the sea, or the breather, or the fabric? Or we the breath itself? Can we flow through the scrolls as knowledge flows through, being the water, or are we the stuck morass of sea filth that gathers on the edge? Imagine again this time, but different. A bird cresting the wind is lifted by a gust and drowned by a stone. But the stone can come from above if the bird is upside down. Where, then, did the gust come from? In which direction? Did the gods send either? Or has the bird decreed their presence by her own mind-making? The all-sight of the scrolls makes a turning of the mind such that relative positions are absolute in their primacy. I ask you again to imagine for me, this time you are beneath the ground, a tiny acorn planted by some well-meaning elf-maiden of the woodlands for her pleasure. You wish to grow, but fear what you may become, so you push off the water, the dirt, the sun, to stay in your hole. But it is in the very pushing that you become a tree in spite of yourself. How did that happen? The acorn is a kind of tree egg in this instance, and the knowledge is water and sun. We are the chicken inside the egg, but also the dirt. The knowledge from the scrolls is what we push against to become full-sighted ourselves. One final imagining before your mind closes from the shock of ever knowing. You are now a flame, burning bright blue within a vast emptiness. In time you see your brothers and sisters, burnings of their own in the distance and along your side. A sea of pinpoints, a constellation of memories. Each burns bright, then flickers. Then two more take its place, but not forever, lest the void fill with rancid light that sucks the thought. Each of our minds is actually the emptiness, and the learnings of the scrolls are the pinpoints. Without their stabbing light, my consciousness would be as vast nothingness, unknowing its emptiness as a void is unknowing of itself. But the burnings are dangerous, and must be carefully tended and minded, and brought to themselves, and spread to their siblings. This is insanity. Okay.
I'm sure you've made note of who's been the most helpful during your time here, Archmage.
Yes, if she could remember. All right. Urag.
Archmage or not, my rules about books still stand.
You take your work very seriously, yes?
Of course I do. If I didn't, most of these books would have been burned to ashes or dissolved to nothing before the Third Era. Mages need to be reminded to be careful around research materials.
Well, Khajiit will do her best not to burn down the library.
Eleanor, the library is
Fight well.
Thank you. Right.
When books are strewn about here and there.
Okay. Khajiit is going to take a risk because he did bring them for. She is going to pick them up. And if he flips out, Khajiit is going to flip out.
Just the professors come in here and scatter the books without any
All this knowledge might have been lost were it not for you.
I thought it might be more efficient if I waited until the end of the day to put them on shelves.
And shall I be forced to wait until the end of the day as well? Please have a word with Urag regarding
Alright, I'm a little at a loss here. I'm not sure which one is the one that's supposed to move this quest along. Interesting.
Next time.
You had a mage who burned down your books, and that's how you died. Well, Khajiit is sorry to hear that, Bookie. That would be a terrible
I
way to
don't
go.
care if you wrote it yourself. If you want a book from here, you go through me.
Well, Khajiit is wondering if there's any special books you're looking for, perhaps.
As a matter of fact, there are. Have you ever heard of Shalador?
Khajiit thinks
Immensely
maybe?
powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian.
Yes,
and
that's
devoted
where.
all his time to research and study, but more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can.
Oh.
I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us.
Khajiit will keep an eye out. This is quite a library. Khajiit is impressed.
A mage is only as good as what he knows. I try to make sure as much knowledge is available as possible. We've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and gone during that time, but it's mostly intact.
Too bad they didn't always have you to send assassins after the people who take out books. Is there any college business Zahjira can assist
If you're
with?
feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations.
Well, sure. If Khajiit happens to be there, she'll find a book for you.
Well, all right. Here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful.
Yes, indeed. If Khajiit can still see after she does what she needs to do, then she'd be happy to look for books for you. This Ruminations book, by the way, it's incomprehensible. Perhaps it's meant to be that way, yes?
Aye, that's the work of Septimus Cygnus. He's the world's master of the nature of Elder Scrolls, but, well,
Yeah, well,
he's been gone for a long while. Too long.
Khajiit assumes you mean mentally. Just in case he...
Eleanor,
If you
the
didn't mean that,
library
where did he go?
is arrayed.
Somewhere up north, in the ice fields.
Oh.
He said he found some old Dwemer artifact, but well, that was years ago. Haven't heard from him since.
The person who has to clean up. I thought it might be more efficient if I waited until the end of the day.
The Arcanium is always accepting new volumes. I'll take what I can get.
What do you have for sale?
Please make sure your hands are clean before touching anything, all right?
Khajiit always has clean hands, except when she's just eating a sweet roll, and then she cleans them. So, technically, she always has clean hands. Well, Khajiit does not think there's anything here she needs to purchase. Does Khajiit have anything you would like to purchase? A lot of things, apparently, but she was speaking about books, actually. Will you buy other things? Not that You would. Actually, you'll buy anything. Has Khajiit gotten that good talking to people they'll now buy anything from her? That's wonderful. How would you like some elven armor? You look like you could use some, but no. She'll sell you some weapons. You look like someone who could use a lot of knives. You know, to stab people when they try to pick up a book. Ooh, here's one that is a design that you might like. Or possibly these. How about a bow? Alright. Thank you.
Until next time.
Enjoy your weaponry. Khajiit will leave before you start throwing it at her. Alright. We still need to find Tolfter. Okay, so he made a note on my map where we can find Septimus. Good. But we still need to find Tolfter. Where's the other doors? She's been here, not been here for too long. Hall of Attainment. Is this the place? Or is this the... Brelia, hello? Onmud. Ah, we were in the wrong one. That is the Apprentice Hall. You want the Master Hall. Hello, Phineas.
There are few places where one can pursue my type of work without fear of persecution.
Hello.
That incident in Morthal was just a misunderstanding, no matter what the guards claim.
Okay, Khajiit would like to know what you have
Take
for
a
sale.
look.
What do you have for sale? Alright, Khajiit would like to buy some soul gems. Empty ones. And Khajiit will buy the grands as well. Alright. Khajiit, like to sell you some things. Unfortunately, there are mostly weapons, and you will buy them. Excellent. So Khajiit is going to sell you these things. Oh. Khajiit should hang on to that one. No, she's gonna sell that one. And then Imperial. That one. Actually, she'll sell the iron arrows as well. Possibly the steel ones, too. She is appreciating very much you buying these. She hopes you can make a profit off of them. Ah, Khajiita's listening to her spirits? You were a warrior, were you, Yellow? Yes, I was born in the Khajiit homeland. And my Khajiit does not know her father. Her mother obviously was there when she was born, because otherwise she would not have been born. Oh. Khajiit will keep that. That looks interesting. Alright. Khajiit thanks you for purchasing all these things from her, because she was getting kind of heavy with all the various and sundry things she's been collecting. Excellent. Okay, Space Knee, unless I'm mistaken, you've already said that Bookie did not know much of spells. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with what you first said. Alrighty. We still haven't found Tolfter, though. Where is he? Well, if she can't find him, she'll have to leave a note for him. With you, perhaps. Have you seen Tolfter? Alright, we will look. Oh, there's an upstairs, that's right. Now. There it is. She was about saying, how does we get up to the upstairs? Colette, have you seen Tolfter? Well, doesn't appear to be here. Alright, Colette? Yes, Khajiit is not sure what Tolfter is. Could you please let him know that Khajiit was here? And if you or anybody else has heard the rumors that there's a Dragonborn in Skyrim that would be correct, that would be Khajiit.
Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yes, indeed it is. But if you
Until
could
next time.
let Master Tolfter know that I was looking for him, and I wanted to speak about this to him myself, but I could not find him, and Khajiit needs to be on her way. Right. Well, that'll have to do, unless we run into him on the way out. That's always possible. Well, Bookie, Khajiit has no idea if you have any family members alive today. It is always possible. Alright, we will check once more in the practice hall over here. Hall of the Elements. Because sometimes people like to hang out on the benches. And she's not sure if she's ever found Master Tolfter here. Hopefully she won't get zacked as she runs past. No, he's not here. Although there are people practicing, this is good. Okay, well, Khajiit is not going to stay any longer. Okay, Yellowface, I think there's a little bit of timing. Actually, no, Khajiit will answer this in Yellow. Khajiit does not think your son could possibly still be alive because, as we've already discussed, your body was left up on the mountain before, or certainly not very long after Parthenax took up residence there, so humans do not live for 2,000 years, or however long it's been, thousands of years. So she is afraid that, while your son may not still be alive, it is entirely possible that your bloodline is scattered all over Skyrim. That is entirely possible.
Never set foot on the grounds, but always wanted to.
Well, now you have, many times. No, not so much. Khajiit forgot that there's no... Khajiit could ride a cart here, but she cannot ride a cart back. Ah, that is what you meant, Yellowface. Oh, okay. Khajiit was misunderstood then. She thought you meant that you thought your son was still alive. And obviously that would not be possible. Alright. We will have to run to Solitude then. Okay, don't get in Khajiit's way when she's about to fire an arrow. There we go. Okay, goat. Khajiit will not interrupt your run. However, she is going to... Okay. That looks like that is attacking something. Ah, there we go. Oh, Bookie, that is terrible. People should not be put into soul gems. She has never done that. And anyone who does put people in soul gems is an asshat. Alright, Khajiit will not interfere. She terribly needs to practice her destruction magic, but she also needs to fill spell gems. So back to archery, because she does like archery as much as she likes magery, in fact, or wizardry, depending on how you want to put it. Oh dear. Well, the horse doesn't need his hide anymore. What happened to the horse? Poor thing. It's around here that Khajiit first met Quadojo, if she remembers aright. Khajiit is not sure if she's remembering aright, but she thinks so. Khajiit is listening to her spirits. You think that the soul of the person will possess a weapon if they are put into the weapon. Possibly. Khajiit does not know, and she has no intention of finding out. And you'll excuse Khajiit, but there is a wolf somewhere. She's not sure where, but she heard it. There it is. And there it was. It did, however, bite Khajiit. Ouch. Bookie, Khajiit is pretty sure if your body was brought back from the dead, your soul would no longer inhabit it. Your body would be what we see, either a skeleton, reanimated skeleton, or perhaps a droger. She did meet one droger that had managed to retain her soul, but she was an exceptional circumstance. She was trapped in her rotting body, not by choice. All right. Okay, so Khajiit needs to head more south-ish? This way? Khajiit hopes this is the right way.
We have found a cave. I don't think there are warm fires and friendly faces inside.
No. Khajiit suspects you're correct. Which is why she and her friends will keep going. She is not cold yet. And in fact, since she is not cold, she's going to take the time to refresh her spells. Since she might have taken a little less of a bite if she had done that in the first place. Hello? Oh, hi.
Important deliveries to make. No time for chatting.
Alright, fine. In fact, Khajiit just had a thought. She realized she never looked where... Okay, actually, we have to go back. This is where we need to go. She didn't even look to see where it was written on her map. Foolish Khajiit. Alright. Khajiit feels comfortable running back and not sneaking because Khajiit and her friends have taken care of the ass hattery along the road already. Ah, Khajiit is glad you were finding things to read in the spirit library. Books on songs, huh? Khajiit isn't much of a singer. She appreciates good music, but bad music? Oh, it hurts Khajiit's ears so bad. Makes it impossible for her to sleep, too. She is thinking of specifically of some particular bad singers in taverns she's been in. Not that it's their fault that they sing badly. It's not. You have what you were dealt with in terms of a singing voice, but that doesn't mean Khajiit is any less in pain when they sing. Well, Khajiit suspects that warmth is probably going to be a thing. And she should get the boys to wear their... If they're not wearing them... Oh, they should be wearing them already. But she'll check. They're water walking boots. Alright, we will go into the tavern just to warm up. While Khajiit checks.
You are taking us somewhere warm, I trust.
Oh, Khajiit wishes she could say yes.
I will shoulder some of your burden.
But unfortunately, Khajiit believes we are going somewhere cold. Yes, you are wearing... So everybody is wearing water walking
We follow
boots.
them. We follow.
And the fact that they don't walk on water is a bug and unfortunate, but they do have the boots.
Then.
And Khajiit is going to put on her water walking boots. Because Khajiit is probably going to need them. And... Alright. Well, Bookie, Khajiit's fur is not magic, and if you're out in the cold long enough, even a Khajiit will get cold. It takes a lot of cold, mind you, but Khajiit can still freeze. Khajiit is nice and warm. So now we need to figure out how to get down and cross. Possibly this way. Let's see how far down Khajiit and her friends can get. Ah, pretty far. This looks like it's... So Khajiit's friends should be fine walking across the water like Khajiit. That's a fox. Like Khajiit. If they choose to get into the water, that is their business, and Khajiit just... hopes that they have the means to keep warm. Ouch. You hit Khajiit. Ow. Oh dear. Karjo? Are you alright? You look like you've been healed up already. That's just blood from the from getting bit. But you should be fine. Good. Alright, Khajiit is going to go get her arrow. Alright, you guys. Khajiit would be very happy if you didn't freeze yourself. That would be lovely. You met a wood elf that thought he was a Khajiit in the wrong body. You think he was crazy. Well... Khajiit has a thought on that. It is possible he was not exactly crazy. Because when she was speaking with Guide Maharava, when she was unconscious, when Guide Maharava was telling her about, well, you guys, that Khajiit would be hearing you guys now because the accident, the healing that was needed to cure her of the accident, we need the soul gems. Basically, that caused her to have a part of her mind wake up that wasn't supposed to yet. And that's why Guide Maharava was telling her not to panic, that what she thought was real, there was not a problem. But Guide Maharava called Khajiit by another name, and said that Khajiit had been known by that name, which kind of implies Khajiit's been alive before. Because if she hadn't, nobody would know her by another name. And Khajiit definitely wasn't known by that name in this life. That one is too far away. So it is possible maybe he was remembering being a Khajiit. You don't know. Perhaps Khajiit is just too far away. This is possible. Although the arrows seem to be reaching there, they're just not hitting Khajiit's target. Ah, there, Khajiit. Alright. It's a thing called reincarnation. Khajiit has not come across that term before, but she will remember it. Now, Khajiit needs to pick up all her arrows. Can Khajiit move you? You seem to be lying on some of her arrows. Alright. Khajiit would hope that did not happen, Bookie. If Yellow is still listening, he would probably be very upset at the suggestion, seeing as his wife died to vampires, and he hunted them. Woohoo! Khajiit can jump off of water. Ooh, there's a boat there. A little one. Rowboat. Ah, as Khajiit thought, Yellow. This might be the boat, and there's, well, there's a door. This might be where we're supposed to be. Did Khajiit leave the boys behind? Okay, Khajiit is pretty sure she would have heard calls for help if they were having problems. So she'll wait for a moment for them to show up. She's sure that they will come along in time. Oh, Khajiit was thinking about other things and you just appeared before her. Khajiit is glad you are all alright. That is good. Alright, hopefully this is the right place. Oh, it is terribly bright in here. Hello? Please don't attack Khajiit.
I always felt a great deal of guilt running from Nightcaller Temple and leaving my friends to die. I'll never forgive myself for that.
Yes, Khajiit understands. You have been bearing that guilt and mentioning it for some time. So Khajiit understands. You feel guilty. Still. Probably always will. Hello.
I've never admitted this before, but I've killed more than I care to admit. I'll just leave it at that.
Yes. Khajiit understands. Are you Septimus Cygnus? You must be.
Dig, Dwemer in the beyond. I'll know your lost unknown and rise to your depths.
Oh dear. He speaks like he writes. Let's see if Khajiit can figure out what he is saying. Ah, Yellow, you freeze sometimes. You feel cold in spirit world. So the manner of your death affects you in the spirit world even after you're there? Or is it just the memories that afflict you? Please excuse Khajiit for a little bit. She does need to talk to Septimus. Khajiit has heard from Urag that you know about Elder Scrolls, yes?
Elder Scrolls, indeed.
I understood that.
The Empire. They absconded with them. Or so they think. The ones they saw. The ones they thought they saw. I know of one. Forgotten. Sequestered.
Ooh.
But I cannot go to it. Not poor Septimus. For I have arisen beyond its grasp.
Okay. Are you alright? Khajiit cannot tell. You sometimes sound sensible and other times not so much.
Oh, I am well. I will be well. Well to be within the will inside the walls.
Right then. Khajiit would ask you to please pay attention, yes? Khajiit will ask you a question. Where is that scroll you mentioned?
Here.
Here?
Well, here as in this plane.
Oh.
Mundus, Tamriel, nearby. Relatively speaking.
Relatively.
On the cosmological scale. Well, it's all nearby.
Khajiit was wanting something a little closer than that. Can you help Zahjira get the Elder Scroll?
One block lifts the other. Septimus will give what you want, but you must bring him something in return.
That sounds fair enough. What do you want? Probably something that involves great danger, no?
You see this masterwork of the Dwemer, deep inside their greatest knowings. Septimus is clever among men, but he is but an idiot child compared to the dullest of the Dwemer. Lucky then they left behind their own way of reading the Elder Scrolls.
They did?
In the depths of Black Reach, one yet lies.
Oh.
Have you heard of Black Reach? Cast upon where Drimmer's city slept, the yearning spire hidden learnings kept.
Khajiit cannot say that she recalls the name, though. That does not mean she has not read it, it just she does not remember it. Where is this Black Reach,
Under deep, below the dark, the hidden keep, Tower Mazark. Oftan, the point of puncture, of first entry of the tapping. Delve to its limits, and Black Reach lies just beyond.
Alftan.
But not all can enter there. Only Septimus knows the hidden key to loose the lock, to jump beneath the deathly rock.
Alright, so you need a key to get... Alftan sounds familiar. Khajiit has been there. Khajiit cannot remember. There might have been a door she couldn't go through. She will consult her map. It'll tell her if she's been there. How does Zahjira get in? An answer she could understand would be helpful.
Two things I have for you. Two shapes. One edged, one round. The round one for tuning. Dwemer music is soft and subtle, and needed to open their cleverest gates. The edged lexicon for inscribing. To us, a hunk of metal. To the Dwemer, a full library of knowings, but empty.
Okay.
Find Mazark and its sky dome. The machinations there will read the scroll and lay the lore upon the cube. Trust Septimus. He knows you can know.
So, will use this artifact, ancient machinery, to read the Elder Scroll and inscribe its knowledge on the cube. What must Zahjira do with this sphere?
The deepest doors of Dwemer listen for singing. It plays the attitude of notes proper for opening. Can you not hear it? Too low for hearings?
Khajiit has not seen it yet, so she's not sure if she's actually able to hear it. It's possible. Khajiit have good ears. What must Zahjira do with this cube?
To glimpse the world inside an Elder Scroll can damage the eyes.
So Khajiit has
or
heard.
the mind, as it has to Septimus.
Oh.
The Dwemer found a loophole, as they always do, to focus the knowledge away and inside without harm. Place the lexicon into their contraption, and focus the knowings into it. When it brims with glow, bring it back, and Septimus can read once more.
That makes Khajiit relieved that there is a way to look and get the knowledge that she needs without actually going blind. Or mad, for that matter. Khajiit is curious, what do you want with the Elder Scroll?
Ooh, an observant one. How clever to ask of Septimus. This Dwemer lockbox. Look upon it and wonder.
It is wondrous.
Inside is the heart of a god, the heart of you and me. But it was hidden away, not by the dwarves, you see. They were already gone. Someone else, unseen, unknown, found the heart, and with a flair for the ironical, used dwarven trickery to lock it away.
Heart of God.
The scroll will give the deep vision needed to open it. For not even the strongest machinations of the Dwemer can hold off the all-sight given by an Elder Scroll.
Is it a good idea to open it, then? Perhaps it was locked away for a reason. Khajiit will probably regret asking this, but what is your understanding of what exactly an Elder Scroll is? She has had an explanation from someone who, shall we say, is probably closer to it than most, but perhaps another perspective will help Khajiit understand more, yes?
You look to your left, you see one way. You look to your right, you see another. But neither is any harder than the opposite. But the Elder Scrolls, they look left and right in the stream of time. The future and past are as one. Sometimes they even look up. What do they see then? What if they dive in? Then the madness begins.
Actually, that is a unique perspective, and Khajiit thanks you for that. A way to look in the stream of time. Interesting. If there's a heart of a god back here, Khajiit is really not sure it's a good idea to open this. She may have to decide to not... But whatever is back here, is it going to be worse than the end of the world? It could be the end of the world, too. But Khajiit will trust that Alkosh has guided her the right way, and she will continue until she has more information, and if necessary, then she will take a different path. All right. Alftand. Khajiit has been to Alftand. Yes, she has. That is where she found many bodies of an expedition and brought them back to the entrance so that they could be buried. She remembers now. She remembers it was a huge place. Khajiit is hoping that her memory that there was a shortcut out that she managed to unlock and find is correct, because otherwise there's going to be a long trek getting back to the depths of it. And Khajiit is paying attention to her spirits again. You think if a death is violent and sudden enough, you could still feel it in the spirit. Well, Yellowface basically says that yes. Alright. You don't think he meant the heart of a god literally. He is not exactly in his most sane of minds, but he could have very well meant it literally. Khajiit has met a friendly dragon who is leading the Greybeards today, or actually in the last few days. Khajiit could very well believe there is a heart of a god back there. It is not any crazier. Or unlikely. Sorry, Bookie, Khajiit really isn't in the mood for riddles. Perhaps
You're
Yellow...
somewhere warm, I trust.
No, we have to run back across the ice. And then we're going to have to go to Alftand. Which... Whoops. Well, it looks like we can take a road from Winterhold, so that possibly will be the way to go. In any case, perhaps we should take a small breather here. That's cube-shaped, isn't it? Interesting. It's like a big safe, but a very elaborate and decorated one. Perhaps we will stay here and for a little bit and take a breath before we go back across the ice, yes? It's going to be cold. Alright guys, that is it for today's stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun today. I will next be streaming on next Thursday, so that is 3 days from now? No, 4 days from now. Yes, because I'm taking 3 days. I take 3 days off. Right. So anyway, I will be back on Thursday with more Zahjira's Travels in Skyrim. Thank you very much for watching and role-playing. I'm happy to have you here. You guys have a great night and a great few days, and hopefully I'll see you again on Thursday. You all have a good night. I'll see you later. Bye.